Today, I wanted to share with you kind of my thoughts and feelings about Christmas and then kind of the post-holiday cleanup. The holidays are genuinely my favorite time of the year. And I know a lot of people feel the same way. So if you're in that category of folks who just absolutely love Christmas, we're definitely kindred spirits. Christmas time is just my favorite time of the year. I love the decorations. I love the food. I love gathering with my family. We have a large family and I love having all of my kids around me. I love having my grandkids around me. It's just a really special time. And I make it my goal every year to give my kids and my family as wonderful and special of a time as I possibly can. It's just something that I enjoy doing very much. In fact, my daughter-in-law, Hannah Claire, gave me one of the best compliments this year that she could have given me. She said, "You're teaching me so much about Christmas." And for her to say that to me just absolutely warmed my heart. It made me feel like the things that I was doing for everyone at Christmas time was appreciated and recognized, and that she saw value in all the little details and things that I was trying to accomplish for my family during our time together. I had planned crafts and ornaments and lots of food, and I had asked for everyone's requests, and I tried really hard to incorporate everything. This year, my son and his wife, Hannah Claire, and their boys, Aiden and Noah, they came to spend Christmas with us, and they stayed here for, I think, 10 days. It was just such a wonderful time for me to have them here because they haven't been home for Christmas in quite a few years. When James and Hannah Claire got married, they lived here in town just down the road from us. In fact, they moved into my late mother-in-law's house for just over a year, I think. And then they moved down to Florida where Hannah Claire had found a good job working for the public library. My son James has a great job in IT, and she has a great job as a librarian. But they haven't, because of the distance and because they have babies and just a lot going on, they haven't been able to, honestly, the drive, it's hard to make that drive in for just a weekend. And since they both work and they haven't had like a lot of vacation time, they haven't been able to come back. So this was the first year that the babies had been here to my house, and I had all of my daughters come home for Christmas. I had my stepson Jeremiah here and his family. We had, well, for most days during that 10-day period, I think we had anywhere from 16 to 19 people here every single day, like big family meals. We had game nights every night. It was just a really wonderful time. So much happiness and joy. Little Aiden did get a stomach bug, and so he was pretty sick, which just broke my heart. I wanted so much for this just to be a wonderful week for him, and he did not feel good at all. I did get to snuggle with him and hug him and love on him while he was sick, but I felt so bad because all the things I had planned for him, we just weren't able to do because he was too sick. So that was unfortunate. But beyond that, it was just a really, really happy week. And before everybody piled into the house, I had everything clean and really just the way I wanted it for the most part. There were a few things I didn't get to, but for the most part, I had really just, I had the house the way I wanted it for the holidays. And as more and more people started piling in, my daughters came in one by one, like over until everybody was here. And then we had the grandkids, like just all these people, and like I was cooking huge meals every single day and feeding, nearly 20 people every single day. So that's a lot. And, and it is part of being a big family. I felt like I spend most of my time in the kitchen, and which is the way I want it. Before Christmas, I had like all of these visions of just being able to stay on top of everything and keep everything like spotlessly clean and just to have, you know, this beautiful ambiance. And the only room I was really able to stay on top of was the kitchen, barely. I had a lot of help. And then the family room downstairs, I was able to pick up every night. But like the main floors and the bedrooms, like everybody's stuff was just everywhere. And I remember, you know, one evening just walking through and thinking, you know, like all of this, you know, the kids' toys and like luggage and all of these things were just everywhere. And, you know, the honest truth is that my house doesn't get very messy anymore because my kids are grown. And I looked around and just thought, this is the way I like it. I like the mess because it means everybody's here and we're all having a good time. And I don't have to fret over having everything just so, because this is the way I want it. I want there to be signs of life. I want there to be children's things around. I want the mess, honestly. And it was just very special to me. So I'm so thankful that everybody got to come this year. It was just a really wonderful experience, wonderful time. And we've had a rough few years with different things going on. And I think that this was just a really great time for us. So when it comes to, you know, having your home as a homemaker, this is the key point, okay? So as a homemaker, I talk about this a lot, but homemaking isn't necessarily about how pristine you keep your house or, you know, having everything just so, or always having a clean kitchen, or, you know, having everything perfectly decorated all of the time. Homemaking is about creating a space that feels like home. And when my family, when my children, when my grandchildren come back, I want them to walk in and feel like this is home. When I have extended family members come in, I want them to feel like they're home. Home is such a special place to me. It should feel like a haven. And that doesn't mean that everything is spotless and neat all of the time. We live in a large house. We have a large family. And there's going to be messes. We have a working household. It's, you know, if you're cooking a lot of food, if you're preparing meals for your family every day, there's going to be messes. If you're, you know, serving your family, if you're caring for those in your home, there's going to be messes. And that's just part of it. It's what having a working household means. You know, it's people are living here. They're living life. They're having joyful experiences. They're enjoying their time. And so sometimes it's not possible, if you're enjoying your time together, to always have everything spotless. And that's okay. And I feel like when I was younger, I used to really stress over whether or not the house looked a certain way, especially if I had other people coming into my home. Because I felt like in order to be a worthy homemaker, of being a good keeper of my home, that meant that everything was always picked up and put away. But I learned over the years, as I raised my family, that having a home that serves us in a functioning way is so much more important. My home is here to serve those who enter it. And I can work really hard to keep everything just so. There were times when I chose to clean up, and there were times when I chose to sit down at the game table and play games with my family instead of picking things up, because that was more important. You have to decide what is important. And to me, relationships are so much more important than the state of my house. So I just wanted to encourage you, especially, you know, if you're a young homemaker, if you feel overwhelmed sometimes by the mess that maybe your kids make, or just, you know, trying to keep up on top of everything. Sometimes it feels impossible. And sometimes it truly is impossible to have everything just the way you would ideally have them if you could snap your finger and have it all done. I had a lot of help in the kitchen. In fact, my daughter Laura really made it her mission to like make sure that the kitchen was spotless before we went to bed at night, so that we could wake up and to a nice clean kitchen and have you know, be able to take photos and like have a nice backdrop. And my daughter-in-law Winnie, she always every time she comes to my house, she spends so much time. Like, I don't know, I asked her this year, how did you get my stove so clean? I haven't seen it that clean in I don't know when, because she literally, I mean, there wasn't even a water spot on the stainless steel. I mean, it was so beautifully clean. And I mean, she works so hard to help me when we have family gatherings, and it just blesses me so much. But you know, every time people would come in, it was like I was cleaning and cooking and making this huge mess in the kitchen for everybody to enjoy the meals every day. And it was just a constant, you know, when you're working and you're feeding and you're eating and you're cooking and you're just doing all of these things, it's just part of it. That's okay. That's the way it's supposed to be. It shouldn't feel discouraging. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed when things are when there's just a lot. There's a lot to do. It's much better to feel like it's fun and not feel overwhelmed when things might get a little crazy. It's really okay. The kitchen will get cleaned again. I would rather you enjoy your family and enjoy the process of cooking and preparing all of that food and seeing everybody's happy smiles when they bite into, you know, their favorite recipe. It's such a gift to be able to do that for your family. So this week I am trying to get some of my Christmas decor put away. We've already taken down our main Christmas tree because the air has just been so dry, and it was a live tree and it just had really started to become dried out. So on New Year's, like the day after New Year's, I think, I took down that tree. A lot of my Christmas decor I'm going to leave up for another week or two just because I enjoy it, and I start decorating for Christmas after Thanksgiving. So I like to be able to enjoy it for a few weeks. That's just the way I generally do it. But I do like to clean up and have things picked up and put away. So I'm going to be working on that over the next few days, and I will try to take you along with me as I do some of that. I don't know if this video was helpful, but I just wanted to encourage you that living in your home, it's okay. You don't have to have a perfect space for it to feel like home. And it's okay to just enjoy the time that you have, and you don't have to feel stressed out by all of the things that come with family life. You can choose to look at it from a different perspective and realize that, you know, all of the mess in the kitchen from cooking all the food and all of the toys on the floor and all of that means that you have a family and that you have life in your home. And that's such a beautiful, beautiful part of life. And I want you to enjoy it and see it for what it is and not stress over it. So let me know your thoughts on this matter. What was your Christmas like this year? And hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any videos. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks for joining me.